Well, beauty has always been part of this woman's legacy. As we celebrate the International Women's Month, we put the spotlight on the founder of the Belo Medical Group, who established a legendary name in the country. She's none other than Doctor Vicki Belo. Aria Tanwa Cotrillo sat down with Doctor Belo as she spoke about her journey to success and her dream of making the Philippines a cosmetic surgery hub.
Doctora, you've accomplished so much in your life. Of course, there's your career, but you're a family woman, a wife, you're a mother, and then, of course, you had your business. Out of all of these things, what do you feel is your biggest achievement?
My achievement? You know, I feel that's such an unfair question because I really feel the best is yet to come. Yes, I do all those things, but they're all intertwined. There's really no, you know, like Scarlett is such a good doctor. So I saw her the other day. She was making me more beautiful on her, I don't know, app. And she was so good at it. Mom, your nose, your eyes, I have to put a glow. And then Crystal's always helping me. So I've incorporated everyone because there's no way I think you can, you know, do your job and not involve everybody. But my dream has not yet happened, which is to make the Philippines a cosmetic surgery hub like Thailand. For the world. And, you know, we're trying to do our best, Belo Medical Group. We give talks. I give talks abroad all the time. I try to meet a lot of people. That's why I do Fashion Week, so I can meet a lot of, you know, really influential, wealthy people. And luckily, they're really in love with Palawan now. They're always mentioning Palawan. So then they come here and then they pass by Belo. But of course, it's just trickles yet, and I'm still hoping that one day it will happen.
Right, bit by bit. No, and I think the Philippines has a wonderful advocate in somebody like you, who's doing that. Now, you've been in the industry a very long time. Of course, we all know that you've treated and beautified and improved the aesthetics of so many celebrities. And actually, your career has probably outlived the career of some of the celebrities.
That's how old I am, yes.
What's the secret to your longevity and your career and your youthfulness?
Well, I've always just looked at it as, you know, people who come to us, the celebrities, is because their puhunan is their body and their face. And so they do have to go to someone that they trust and who will do a good job. And I've always told our people that it's always about excellence and quality. You know, of course, we do some marketing that way, but, you know, you can't sustain that if you don't deliver the results. So I think in 33 years that I've been here, we've gained a good reputation. People trust us, and we always try to deliver the best. So I'm always traveling, looking for new ways to make it better. So I don't stop. I think the great thing about me is that I'm really a future-thinking person. I don't really live in the past. So, you know, like when people ask me your legacy, parang, ha? Ano yun? I'm always looking forward to what's new and better.
Right, you're not done yet.
Of course not. I think that's what keeps me passionate and alive. The fact that there's always room to grow and that I'm not done yet.
Right. Okay, this is a question I'm sure you're asked all too often, but how do you strike that work-life balance? I mean, you already mentioned, you know, your daughters are interested in the business, if not already helping you.
Well, you know, I have to do everything because it's like I have to wake up. I make the time. I think people always, when I talk to them, let's say they're having a lipo, I ask them, do you work out? And they go, I don't have time. I'm so busy. I think what people have to understand is that you have to carve out the time. So I will wake up at 5:30 in the morning to be able to work out. Because if I don't work out, then I'm sluggish the whole day. And then I bring my daughter to school, right? But I'm in my workout clothes so that you know, when I get home, I'm working out already. And then when I do my makeup, it's sabay-sabay na. It's like so many things are going on. Hair, makeup, I'm talking to my social media people, So you just have to really pack up your day, and that's the way I like it. I don't like to be bored, take things slow. But on weekends, that's where the life-work balance comes in. It's a weekend, it's family day. And I meditate and I pray a lot. So I think that really balances my energy and gives me energy for the whole day.
Yeah, that part is so important. Just to have a quiet moment, especially in your very, very busy schedule.
I know, because when you don't do that, you really will get a little crazy. And I learned that a lot during the pandemic when things were quieter. I realized how important quiet moments are.
Yeah. Speaking of balance, Doctora, you know, I feel like there's a fine line between loving yourself and accepting yourself and wanting to improve yourself and getting work done, right?
Right.
There's a fine line. How do you strike that balance between loving and accepting yourself, but improving yourself at the same time?
You know, I think the reason I do this is because I just look at it in a very simple manner. I'm very objective. I do my hair, I color my hair. For me, it's just a little step forward. Whatever I was, and I grew up, luckily, having a lot of pimples and being fat. And so I was very uncomfortable in my body. And I didn't accept, I wasn't happy with the way I was. And so I went to so many dermatologists trying to cure my acne, and they couldn't do it, so I decided I'd do it myself. So when I did it, I felt so much better. When I lost the weight and I wasn't conscious of, you know, it's so hard to be a little overweight because you're always looking for the right clothes. It takes so long. I cover my face with my hair so they wouldn't see my acne. And I never thought I let my true personality shine through because I was so conscious, is she looking at my acne? Is she thinking I'm fat? And so when I got rid of all those problems, I could really be more myself. But you know, not everybody is like me. There are many people like me. There are many people who don't think who are really happy the way they are, and kudos to them. I really exist only for those who feel that if they fixed or tweaked something, they would feel better about themselves.
Yeah, just give them that little boost of confidence
Yes, right.
that could
so
change
guys,
their
don't
life.
judge other people if they need me, because it really helps them. You know, it helps their self-confidence. And I feel our mission vision is to help people live their best lives.
So what is the type of advice you give to your clients or your patients when they come to you? Do you feel like you're just giving them, you know, sort of medical advice, we're going to do this, this, and that? Or there's a lot of, I guess, emotional and psychosocial counseling that comes into it as well?
It's all together. In fact, that's why it's never boring. Because every patient is different and they come in for different reasons. And they're all, you know, so you have to really listen a lot to see what your patient really needs. So sometimes they come in because they're very objective like me. Like, you know, I would really feel better if my eyes weren't hooded or my arms were smaller. Okay, let's just do that. That's easy. Or then there are patients who come in, my husband left me for a younger woman, blah, blah, blah. I need an emergency makeover. That one's a bit hard because I really need to, it's not that what we do is hard. I need to make sure they're coming for themselves and not to get their husbands back. Because it's not going to happen. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but you know, I don't want them to do that for the wrong reason, so that takes longer. So so I never get a boring day because I love stories, I love listening. I give advice on everything from hair to, nako, no, you have to love yourself, you know, don't be giving, because a lot of Filipino women feel that they have to take care of everybody, their husband, their children, and then they neglect themselves. These are the women who eat the leftovers of their kids, who are medyo investor all the time in chinelas. They don't take care of themselves, thinking that, you know, then they stop one day and they look at themselves and say, oh my gosh, what happened? And it's so long naman if they're gonna diet and work out. So they come to me and say, can you give me a head start? Can you help me suck out all this fat that you can, and then I'll do the rest. I'll work out, I'll take care of myself starting now. And those are the best patients because, you know, and then they maintain it and they look amazing. And I see the personalities really change from being so, you know, self-conscious and shy to being so outgoing.
Yeah, and I think a lot of women forget that, yeah, okay, I think we do have a greater responsibility in many ways to take care of everybody, but we can't do that if we don't take care of ourselves.
You can't give
first.
what you don't have.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Doctor, with everything you've done, what else do you want to accomplish? You mentioned that you want to turn the Philippines into an aesthetics hub.
Yes, well, it sounds really, but it's like world domination by Belo. So I really want, you know, the reason I use Belo everywhere is because I made a promise to my dad when I was 11. He comes home one day and he says, Iha, I love being called Iha. Can you promise me something? Can you do something for me? And I really adore my dad and my mom. And I said, what, Daddy? Can you make our name famous? And I said, why? And then he said, because everybody spells it wrong. He goes, look, Belo, Belo, Belo. Can you teach them all that it's Belo? So I started at 11 becoming a branding expert. I put Belo everywhere, notebooks, you know, school bags, t-shirts. And then I really want, you know, and then I remember he passed away about 15 years ago, but he said, thank you from making our name famous. But of course, I'm not stopping there. I know you can see me in heaven. So it's not so much for Belo, it's more for the Philippines. But if I can be the ambassador for something, like cosmetic surgery, because that's the only thing I can control. I'm not one of those people who wants to, if there's nothing I can, I don't want to get depressed about the pollution or the traffic, because I can't do anything about that, but I can do something about me making the Philippines a cosmetic surgery hub. So that's what I keep doing. So this year, there's so many exciting things happening. We're really going international. I just don't want to announce where, but several countries. So, finally talk to people who we trust, are willing to open Belos in their countries. So, I just need that name to be there and then be very clear that it's Philippines. So, we get respected like Koreans, like Thais. Yeah, and dream ko.
Beautiful. All right. So how do you plan to keep that going, to keep Belo Medical Services going? And with all these different branches in different parts of the world, how are you going to be able to maintain that quality and that service?
Well, it's years in the making contacts all over the world. It's years of studying about biohacking. I'm 66 years old. Wow. And I know my energy is the same as when I was 35.
So how does one do that?
How do I do? Because there's so many things I can't even discuss here. But there are many things. You have to go to Belo to find out. People are always asking me on IG, what did you do, Dr. Belo? Why do you look young? Why do you have energy? Hello, go to Belo.
The simple answer.
Oo nga, di ba?
Right. Okay. Again, another question you've been asked many times. I don't know how you can answer it in under a minute. What do you feel is your legacy?
Legacy talaga, I don't know yet, because I really, I always look forward, as I say, and at the end of my life, when I look back at my life, I want to say that I did the best I could. I lived my best life. And the most important thing to me, since I'm Christian, is that when I get to heaven, Jesus will say to me, well done, my good and faithful servant. So I don't care about legacy, really. It doesn't. But hope you'll remember me, somehow, Belo, and how we've moved dermatology and cosmetic surgery forward. And hopefully making ourselves a world-class player.
All right, and that would be thanks to you. Doctor Vicki Belo, thank you so much for being here.
It's so nice to see you again.
Always, thank you.